Well, she said it was urgent she'd talk to you tonight, so I gave her what she wanted, this number.
There's nothing else you could have done, Mr. Hooper. Don't worry.
After all this time, I know what she wants. You don't think anything's happened to Ben, do you?
Oh, don't go jumping to conclusions. Now, why should anything have happened to little Ben? Oh, Mr. Hooper, I'm awfully sorry. Do sit down.
OK, now.
Now, why don't we have a nice glass of sherry, Mac? You know where it is, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Kath.
And stop fretting. I expect she wants to talk to you about the house, you know.
Nice cosy place you got here, Mrs. Brownlow. No wonder Mac wanted to stay here in a nice warm apartment instead of coming to our drafty barracks, eh?
You don't think she wants to come back, do you?
Well, it's possible, I suppose.
For Ben's sake, it'll be worth trying again.
Hey, now, wait, hang on, man. You've got rid of the house, remember?
Oh, it's not going to be a walkover this time, not after all the trouble she's put me through. But if it's that, she does want to come back.
It's all right, it's all right. I'll carry on.
Hello? Oh, Trina. Yeah. How are you? Oh, that's fine. How's Ben? Oh, good. That's a relief. How's up? He what? Yeah, that's right. I couldn't. I mean,
would you like to step into the kitchen, Mr. Hooper?
Well, I miss all the fun.
Furniture, eh? Oh, come on. Now listen, Trina. Look, there's no room here or at Mum's. Oh, come on. Look, don't be insane, woman. It is safe, yes. Okay, I'll get around to your mum as soon as I can. Where are you calling from? Where are you? Trina. It was all a dream. There's no way she's gonna come back. You know what that was all about? Perishing music center. She's heard I got rid of the furniture. She wanted to know where it was.
Is that all? Is that... Listen, all that aggro just for that music centre?
Threatening to sue me if I didn't get it back to her. Nice, isn't it?
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
If that's tonight's menu, I've already ordered for us. 8 o'clock, okay? I assume you're through for the evening.
It's not tonight's menu, it's tomorrow's for lunch. Or it will be, when I've altered it with Paul Ross. Let's have him in. See if he can tell us what fresh vegetables might be available.
Paul won't be here at lunchtime tomorrow. He'll be in the town hall. It seems that he's appointed himself Jill's protector. Hello?
Who's speaking, please?
Barbara Hunter.
Oh, this is Sally Banks. Hello.
Oh, good evening, Mrs. Banks. How are you?
Oh, fine, absolutely fine. I've had a bit of trouble with the girl on the desk.
Oh, dear, what about?
Well, the silly creature's trying to tell me that my husband isn't staying with you when I know perfectly well that he is.
Well, yes, he was.
Was?
Until this morning, and then he checked out.
Oh. Well, isn't that typical? Not a word to me. He does have lots of meetings and things, so I suppose I shall just have to sit and wait here till he turns up.
I am so sorry to have bothered you.
Not at all.
And do give my apologies to the girl on the desk.
That's all right. I'll explain it to her. Don't worry. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, not to her. Please, not to her.
What were you saying about Jill and Paul Ross?
Oh, yes, I had a strange little conversation with him. He's decided that Jill's a damsel in distress, so he'll clank about in shining armour.
Protecting chimneys from the town hall dragons?
I suspect he's enjoying playing the part more than helping her.
The mood will pass, as usually do. In any case, the curtain hasn't gone up on this little drama, really.
Oh, he'll hoist it up when he goes into the town hall with her and tears into the councillors.
But they have an appointment.
I doubt it.
And there's no chance of getting one. It's not even official.
Oh, you never know. Jill's hopping mad, not surprisingly. She's liable to hammer on doors and create all over the committee rooms.
Switchboard. Will you ring around and see if you can find Mrs. Harvey, please? Ask her to come and see me before she goes home. Thank you.
Well, I don't envy you on this one, David. I think I'll go and change for dinner.
Chicken.
Well, thank goodness you didn't sell it with the rest of the furniture.
Well, it was hers. I wouldn't get rid of it. How could she think I would?
Well, you best get it round to her mother's as soon as you can. Oh, I suppose that's where she's staying, is it, at her mother's?
She wouldn't say. I mean, I'm sure it's not there.
Oh, well, never mind. Could have been worse, couldn't it? I mean, at least you know that little Ben's all right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a start, isn't it? She got in touch.
Oh, yeah. Threatens to take me to court over a perishing music centre.
Well, she gets carried away. I mean, you know how short-tempered she is.
Oh, don't I just?
No, what I meant was that her mother's bound to tell you where she's living. And then perhaps Trina might be agreeable to bring in little Ben here for the weekend. You could see him. You could bring him here. Oh, we'd love to have him as a visit.
Do you think she'd agree to that?
I don't see how she could possibly refuse.
Well, here I am, David. What is it? I would like to go home while I still have a home to go to.
Let's have a drink.
No.
I understand you're taking some time off tomorrow.
Any quibbles?
No, except I'd rather you weren't wasting the day.
I am going to the town hall, and I'm going to flay alive a bunch of councillors who want to pull down my home.
Well, that's what I mean. You'll get nowhere.
Oh, should I just simply sit around and let it happen?
You should wait until you're certain something might happen. You can't expect the councillors to see you about something which isn't even official.
I didn't expect the council to want to go and demolish my house. I mean, should I wait till they have, until it's officially gone, before trying to
Jill,
stop them?
I do not like the idea of your losing chimneys any more than you do.
Oh, I wouldn't bet on it.
You know, you're rather difficult to deal with for your own good when you're like this.
Oh, I do apologise. But it's not every day I'm rendered homeless and then sanctimoniously advised to do nothing about it.
I didn't advise that. I advised patience.
Well, you advised the town hall patience for about 50 years. Well, I'm sorry, David.
What you should do is first stop letting Paul Ross influence you into making rash gestures. He's a man of gestures, empty ones. Second, go to your solicitor. Tell him what Richard Lord has deduced might happen. Not found out definitely, but deduced.
Yes, but when Richard Lord deduces something, it usually happens, or haven't you learnt that yet?
Take Richard Lord with you, I mean this. Your solicitor might reassure you. He'll certainly tell you these things drag on for ages. You're not the only householder involved. There'll be public meetings, petitions. There's not the slightest reason for you to go barging into the town hall tomorrow with Paul Ross to help you make a fool of yourself.
Make a fool of myself for trying to stop a mob of vandals from pulling down my house?
All right, I've done my best. I hope tomorrow you don't do your worst.
Patience.
Don't take your coat off or you'll freeze to death. I've been moving the furniture about to keep warm.
What happened?
Central heating on the blink again.
Have you checked the thermostat?
I don't touch it.
Well, it might be that. I'll just have a look and if...
No, don't.
Well, why ever not?
Well, Oliver does that.
Oh, yes,
He'll come over.
But there's no need, surely. I'll have a look, and if I can't fix it, we'll call in a plumber.
Is it all right if I make the decisions in my own house?
Yes, of course. You do what you like.
He knows exactly what to do, you see. He's fixed it before, often. I've never understood the damn thing, never needed to.
Yes, well, give him a buzz at the motel, and maybe he'll...
Can't do that.
Why not?
He's not there anymore. Phoned up tonight. Had a stupid argument with some silly woman on the desk. In the end, she put me through to Barbara Hunter, and there I was demanding to speak to Oliver, and she told me that he'd checked out that morning. Made me look a fine fool, didn't it?
Oh, Sal.
You know what this means, don't you? He's gone to her.
You can't know that.
Oh, I do. I know it all right. It was a charade in the first place, him booking in there. Sham, the whole thing. As if people didn't know. All this fine talk of her not wanting it to be like that. Not wanting, that's a laugh. All she's ever done is want. She wants him all right. But she'll not have him. Not to keep. Never.
Oh, you're here.
I'm practicing for when I've no home to go to.
Oh, come on, Jill. Don't dramatise. Nothing so bad it can't get better.
Don't try and hold hands, Valerie. You're not cut out for it. You'll end up saying something fatuous like nothing's so bad it can't get better.
That's it. Chin up.
I think I prefer David shouting to you trying to coo.
Well, David told me that you'd finished for the night and gone home to...
Chimneys.
I'm sorry. It does keep cropping up, doesn't it?
Well, it's still got a chance.
Like people. Your ex, for instance.
My ex what?
Ex-husband. I thought you'd gone, so I didn't tell him to come in here.
Well, when was this?
A few moments ago. Quite nice looking. I like beards.
What did he want?
Well, he said he was in a hurry and to give you this. So I said I'd put it on the desk and you'd get it first thing in the morning.
Oh. Well, actually, I'm supposed to be seeing him this weekend. It's my legal visit to my daughter, Sarah Jane. I suppose he just wants to change the time or something. But why did you telephone?
He, to be perfectly frank, seemed quite pleased that you weren't here to be seen.
Well, well, well. David Hunter tells me you're charging into the town hall tomorrow, and... Jill? What's this?
It's from my ex-husband.
You sure you want me to read it?
I wish he'd never written it.
Is this your handbag?
Oh, yes.
Your car keys in it? Come on, I'm driving you home.
I think you attach too much importance to them moving in together.
Don't be so stupid.
Look, what I am trying to point out is that now they're together openly, part of the excitement will be lost, so?
You do come up with some fancy ideas. Why can't you just say it's hopeless? I mean, that's what you think.
No, I don't, but I do think it's going to take time, and you've got to be prepared for that.
I can't. You can't imagine what this is doing to me. You just can't.
Sal, when I lost Colin, I had nothing to hope for.
That was different. At least he was yours to the end. You didn't have to stand back and watch some scheming little slut try and take him away from you. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to phone Joyce.
What?
Joyce, I want to talk to her.
Well, are you sure?
Well, she is my daughter, for pity's sake.
And talk to Penny.
That would be quite useless.
Oh, come on now.
No, she's Daddy's girl.
Well, at least she's in this country. I mean, ringing Canada, you'll put her in a right old shh.
Hello? Joyce, darling? Yes, it's me. Oh, I'm fine. No, I'm still here, darling. It's a bit of a bad line.
Will you be all right now?
But stay. I mean, you're not in a hurry, are you?
No.
Just for an hour or so, long enough for me to cook supper. A steak. Want something to do, you see. I don't remember you saying anything to me as you drove me over here.
Where shall I put this?
Give it to me. Look, what were you thinking about my ex-husband's message?
I wasn't in a position to think anything. I didn't read it.
You can sit down or help me peel the potatoes.
I'll help.
You have already.
Well, it's a bit late for a meeting. What's it about?
The point is, J. Henry, that Jill feels that nobody is helping her out with the bypass, except for Paul Ross.
Paul Ross never helps anyone except himself.
So, who's going to help her instead of him, then?
I will.
How?
By asking my lawyers to do everything they can for her at my expense.
You would really do that?
Anything to rid her of the attentions of Paul Ross.
And how are your lawyers going to go about helping her exactly, then?
Well, how should I know, Barbara? I pay them to do what I want. If they don't, it's the last they see of my money. Meeting closed?
Well, if the meeting's over, I shall get an early night.
No. I want to speak to you once we're alone.
Can't you speak to me in the chalet?
No, you fiddle-faddle about when you go to bed. It's impossible to keep a conversation on a straight line.
David, should we go to bed?
Good night.
Good night.
Why didn't you read my ex-husband's message?
It wasn't mine to read. You offered it to me in an unguarded moment, something you might have regretted later.
It's about my daughter, Sarah Jane. You see, Stan has care, custody and control. She lives with him, not far from here, well, did until tonight. The message, you see, was... Well, Stan's going back to Germany, back to the job he used to have, and he's taking his new wife with him and Sarah Jane.
You can cope with that. And the more important thing, can you cope with a bypass coming through your front door?
You don't seem to have understood. My daughter's being taken away from me.
She was taken away from you years ago. The message merely said that she was being taken a little further away.
Little? Germany?
What's that on a plane, an hour or so? When you drove to see her near here, how long did it take?
Well, an hour or so.
As I said, you'll cope. Well, shall we do the washing up?
I think you already did half, didn't you?
I have never laid a finger on you in anger in all our married life.
You threatened to the other night.
But the pain you gave me, the gratuitous pain, meeting that man in public, in front of poor Ross, that won't go, Val, that won't.
Then let me.
To that fool?
Would it make you feel any better if he weren't a fool? If he were someone worthy of your salt? No, darling, not to him. He's just a poor little man with a bad head for alcohol. Nothing happened between us. But I don't suppose you'll ever believe that. So why don't you just let me go without making him suffer for it?
All of this was my life. I mean, if chimneys is pulled down, well, I'd feel...
You'll feel what? Robbed of your past?
Yes, robbed. That's the only word.
No, it isn't. A better word might be spared.
Spared?
Yeah, spared. Made you want to live the rest of your life in the past? Because that's what this house represents. It's not a home, it's a prison. I'm sorry, I have the unfortunate habit of telling people the truth, sometimes when they're not ready for it. To bring myself a taxi. You realise it's nearly 2 o'clock?
Gosh. Well, do you realise that you've been here then nearly 6 hours?
Yes, I suppose I have.
And in those 6 hours, without uttering a word of sympathy, you've made me see more sense than I have for many years.
Oh, didn't you know? It is generally accepted that I am a most unsympathetic person.
Look, don't go. There's a spare bedroom.
There are also gossipy neighbours who'd see me leave in the morning.
Oh, they'd be just as gossipy seeing a taxi come and go at 2 in the morning. Tired?
Aren't you?
Well, you know where the bathroom is. Spare bedroom's opposite.
Good night, then.
Good night, Richard.